we talked about how you can lose opportunities, right? As far as being an actor who's like, nah, I don't want to do media anymore. Has that closed off opportunities for you? Because a lot of the time, these are the things that help build social media and build, other whatever that comes with that, right? That currency.
Yeah, I'm sure it hasn't helped my situation, but I stick to I don't care. I'm trying to say that I care, but I don't. I went into this when it came to acting, or when it came to this business. I have like a few. I don't know if I have like specific rules, but there's certain things I just don't do. Anything that makes me uncomfortable in any way, or like, I just won't do it. Whether that's a role, whether that's an interview, but I also have, I'm 6'2", I'm a big Samoan guy, and people generally will respect that out of but I'm not a young 20-year-old girl, or 20-something-year-old girl who is going to get a lot more questions, a lot more personal. And so it's interesting that like people won't take the liberty to ask, like, I don't know, some kind of like forward questions. I've never been asked I've never really been asked too personal of my life, nothing that I thought was invasive. But I do know that like there are interviews where my co-stars who, they, a lot of the females, they don't get that kind of distance, I guess, from the question. Like the people are more willing to ask them, who are you dating? What are you, what do you see in a guy kind of thing? And I'm like, oh, that's not at all the kind of, I don't even know if that's, what that is. So
I respect your choice not to do it if you're not feeling it, right? Because you're just wasting your time and you're wasting the journalist's time too, because we're sitting there and they're like, this person clearly doesn't want to be here. So I can appreciate that. I have two follow-up questions to that. One is, you said you're Samoan. Would it help if you had other Samoans interviewing you? Like, would that make a difference in terms of you engaging? And then two, why did you choose to do this panel in that instance? Because you don't do them that often, right?
I was thinking about that. I was like, why am I doing a panel with journalists who I normally wouldn't talk about? And I do. It is one of those things. Like when you take on it, I realize we're all trying to none of us want to go in there and make someone feel small or make someone feel like insignificant in any way. And we are trying to do our best when it comes to it. And I was, in New York, and I met the first other Polynesian I ever met was when I was 18 years old. And so there's still I still get this kind of joy when I see another Polynesian. I'm like, you look like me. It's like, whoa, this is so weird. It's such I've never been raised with that. I never knew. So, but I do know when it comes, and I feel like we all have this with our people, whoever our people are. But like, when I see a Polynesian, I almost like, oh, so what it's like to be like pointed out of everybody. You'll be in a room, and I guarantee you, someone's like, yo, look at that guy. That's been my whole life. Before acting, I was still getting pointed out in every room. I always had to make a declaration in school. It's like, oh, how about this, this big kid right here? And so, and I'm like, why are you calling me out? When I was young. And so when I see other Polynesians, I always feel like you understand a little bit of like, I don't know. I always feel like there's some understanding that we're going to have. And I feel that's this, I feel like everyone can agree to some extent on that. But maybe not. But yeah, there is a little bit of I have noticed this. There's a little more of a comfortability I have when I talk when I am interviewed by Polynesians or anyone from AAPI kind of. That's weird. I didn't realize that until I said it. But yeah,
that's true. I'm gonna take credit then for you being here.